Hello everyone, welcome to my channel, General Hospital. General Hospital spoilers. Curtis and Nina team up to bring Drew down. It's hard to believe that Drew Cain Quartermain, Cameron Matheson, used to be a really good guy, isn't it? Two people who see him very clearly now are Curtis Ashford, Donald Turner, and Nina Reeves, Cynthia Watros. And they are ready to level him on General Hospital completely. General Hospital spoilers. Curtis Ashford is furious with Drew Cain. One of Drew's biggest mistakes was mixing business with the mess that is his personal life. He had Curtis running Aurora while he ran for Congress, and then thought that he pacified Michael Corinthos, Chad Dell, with that same spot after Michael found out that he had kissed his wife. Instead, Michael and Curtis teamed up, and Curtis now has a 5-year deal running Aurora, no questions asked. Drew may have Michael's wife, Willow Corinthos, Caitlin McMullen, but he has lost everything else. Drew tried to play nice last week with Curtis, but his true colors quickly emerged when he threatened to use his congressional powers to destroy the company he created. Curtis is more furious than ever, and he is ready to join forces with Nina to level Drew. GH spoilers. Nina Reeves is desperate to make Willow Tate see the truth about Drew Cain. Nina is fighting for the stability of her own little family, and in order to save it, Drew has to go. He seems to have a crazy hold on Willow, and instead of using her brain to figure things out, she just does what he says. It is clear that the cult mentality that once guided Willow's life isn't completely gone because she has allowed Drew to take over her life. Curtis has told Nina to tell her daughter the truth, that she spent much of last year in bed with Drew, while he also circled Willow. It is one fast way to make Willow see Drew differently, but it could also cost Nina a relationship with her daughter that means everything to her. General Hospital spoilers. Will Curtis Ashford and Nina Reeves's plan work? Drew has burned nearly every bridge that he ever built in Port Charles. The only strong tie that he has left is Willow. How do you think Curtis and Nina will team up to knock Drew down? Will they get Willow to see the truth, and if so, what will be the cost? Curtis Ashford paced the floor of his office at Aurora Media, his fists clenching and unclenching as he replayed his last conversation with Drew Cain. The man had changed. Gone was the noble war hero who once put others first. This new version of Drew was ruthless, manipulative, and selfish. Curtis had already seen the writing on the wall, but now he had proof. Drew was willing to sacrifice anything and anyone for power. Across town, Nina Reeves sat in her office at the Metro Court, fidgeting with a pen as she mulled over her conversation with Curtis. Drew had taken everything from her, her business, her reputation, and worst of all, her daughter's trust. Willow had finally started to warm up to her, but Drew's influence was proving to be an insurmountable obstacle. He had convinced Willow that Nina was toxic and untrustworthy. If she wanted a real shot at having a relationship with her daughter, she needed to expose Drew for the man he had become. Curtis and Nina had always maintained a cordial relationship, but now they had a common enemy. And nothing unites people like a shared hatred. Curtis Ashford's fury boils over. Curtis's patience had run out. He had tried to negotiate with Drew to make him see reason, but Drew had scoffed at him. When Curtis reminded him that Aurora was his company now, Drew had smirked. "I built that company from the ground up," Drew had said coldly. "If you think I'm just going to let you have it, think again." Curtis was not easily intimidated, but Drew had something he didn't: power. Drew's political connections were growing stronger by the day, and it was clear that he wouldn't hesitate to use them to ruin Curtis if it meant reclaiming Aurora. Curtis knew he needed to hit Drew where it hurt, and for that, he needed an ally. Nina Reeves's dilemma. Nina had plenty of reasons to hate Drew, but her primary motivation was Willow. Despite her best efforts, Nina had not been able to break through the barrier that Drew had built around her daughter. Willow saw Drew as a protector, a steady force in her life, but Nina knew better. Curtis had been the one to plant the idea in her head. "You have to tell Willow the truth," he had urged. "Tell her about Drew. Tell her what he's done, what he's Nina up at night." She wanted to expose Drew, but at what cost? If Willow believed her, it could finally sever the tie that Drew had over her. But if she didn't, Nina could lose her daughter for good. Still, Nina was desperate, and desperation breeds bold action. The plan. Curtis and Nina met at an out-of-the-way cafe, a place where they wouldn't be seen by any prying eyes. "I have some dirt on Drew," Curtis said, his voice low. "A few deals he made under the table while he was running for Congress. He's been using Aurora's funds for personal expenses, some of them shady." Nina's eyes widened. "You think we can use it against him?" Curtis nodded. "We don't even have to leak it publicly. We just need to make sure Willow sees it." Nina hesitated. What if she doesn't believe it? What if she runs straight to Drew? Curtis sighed. "Then we find something stronger. You know as well as I do that Drew isn't the hero he pretends to be. We just need to get Willow to open her eyes." Nina pursed her lips. "I might have something. When I was still part of Crimson, I overheard a conversation Drew had with one of his campaign donors. They were talking about funneling money into offshore accounts. I didn't think much of it at the time, but now it makes sense." Curtis leaned forward. "If we can get proof, we can destroy him." The fallout. Drew Cain was a man who thrived on control, and when Curtis and Nina started putting their plan into motion, he felt it slipping through his fingers. First came the whispers in the media. An anonymous tip had led to an investigative report questioning Drew's financial dealings. Then Aurora's board started asking questions. And then came the moment that shook Drew to his core. Willow found out. She had received an envelope containing copies of wire transfers and emails implicating Drew in financial misconduct. At first, she refused to believe it. Drew had always been the one person she could count on. But when she confronted him, his reaction said it all. He lashed out, accusing her of betraying him. The man standing before her was not the man she thought she knew. The aftermath. Drew's empire crumbled around him. His political allies distanced themselves, his campaign was put under investigation, and Aurora's board removed him from any decision-making power. Curtis had full control now, and he wasn't about to give it back. As for Nina, she took a risk that paid off. Willow, shaken by what she had learned, turned to her mother for support. It wasn't an instant reconciliation, but it was a step in the right direction. Drew Cain had built himself up as an untouchable force in Port Charles. But in the end, he had underestimated Curtis Ashford and Nina Reeves. And now he was paying the price. As Curtis and Nina stood together, watching the fallout from their plan, Nina turned to him and smirked. "Well," she said, raising her glass, "I'd say that went pretty well." Curtis chuckled, clanking his glass against hers. "Here's to taking down Drew Cain." They had won this round, but in Port Charles, battles were never truly over. They both knew that Drew wouldn't stay down for long, and when he came back, they would be ready. Come back to our channel for all your updates. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to my channel.